guys, we're back. Check it out. We are back. No, look, I'm sorry. That was a lie. Don't worry, we're not back. This is not a comeback video. This is not our millionth comeback video. This isn't the triumphant return for the 1,000th time of 3-4 Gaming. What this is I guess, I don't know, just a little bit of nostalgia. I like to look back at my old videos. You know, obviously I have two accounts. The odds of you getting any appreciation out of this video are pretty astronomically low because, to be honest with you, the prerequisites would be absolutely insane. You'd have to be someone who watched 3-4 Gaming from the start and now have like come back and seen this video pop up and be like, oh my god, you know, what happened? Where were they? What's going on? You'd have to fulfill all of that, and I just don't think you're going to be there. So this is sort of self-indulgent, but I like to go back at my and watch my old videos on both Big Alias and 3-4 Gaming. Now, obviously, I do it more on Big Alias because I still upload to Big Alias and I still run Big Alias regularly, but which is not a shameless plug. It really isn't, because again, who is going to watch this? But I do like to look back at 3-4 as well, because you know there's a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in there too, and because I liked it a lot. And by the way, I just got out of the shower, so if that looks sus, then just call me Among Us, because my hair's wet. Sorry, throw me in Among Us jail, which I think is in space. So I like to look back at my old videos and you know see how things were, and I looked back at the video page and I stared at it and I thought, how funny would it be if I just uploaded a video right now, if I just put a video on 3-4 as if nothing happened, as if there was no break, and I just made a regular ass video. I put the intro in it, I put the outro in it, and it was just a normal video. And then I realized I can't really do that, because if I do that, then people are going to think it's another attempt at a comeback, and you can't call it that according to the 90s, and I didn't want people to think it was. But then I looked at it some more and I thought, it's always bugged me how this channel ended, in that there was no, like, we've never really looked at the inside baseball. We've never really looked at how the sausage was made or anything like that, because, like, I mean, there's sausages everywhere. There were 3 dudes, but we never looked at how, you know, how we were and how things went in it. And I thought, what better way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Let's do a retrospective and look back at this channel that I really liked, and I would like to put more on here, but if we don't, then this will be a better finite ending for us, and just plop this here. So I did really enjoy my time with 3-4. It was something that I always wanted to do, was group gaming / comedy YouTube channel. That was something that I really always wanted to do, and I started YouTube solo, very solo, doing my own thing, doing commentaries. And actually, around about a year before 3-4, I made a video on my Big Alias channel, and I promise this isn't a promo, because this is like an 11-year-old video, where it was a sort of call to action, asking people whether they wanted to do a group YouTube, like a group gaming YouTube thing, and I was really into that idea, and it worked for a bit, and I managed to make some cool stuff out of it. But yeah, about a year later, Luke approached me, and that's, like, I think watching the videos you wouldn't have suspected that, but actually Luke approached me about the channel, and he said to me, look, would you like to do a YouTube channel with me and Tom? We want to do this, you know, group YouTube thing. And I thought, wow, dude, what better way to do it than with 2, you know, people who I can tolerate, and you know, dudes I like and I'm friends with. Well, what better way to do this group YouTube thing? So we did it, and I got very excited about it. I immediately went, and this was where I really discovered a love for, like, low budget graphic design, in making the intro. And I'm pretty sure the intro was ripped from Xbox Game DVR. One thing I really like doing is finding backdoors. Should I just leave it there? Leave the end of the sentence there. Backdoors to, like, graphic design. So I remember Luke sent me this video of it was something, and it had that intro in with the triangles and the spacey thing, and I saw that and I thought it was really cool. So I thought, well, I'm gonna steal that, And I made the little logo. I knew I wanted a sci-fi sort of theme for us, something that felt like galactic and huge, and like we were conquering something big despite the fact that we were making goofy YouTube videos. So I made, I took the image of Earth because I've always liked that image, and I just put TFG there because with Freefall Gaming, I think I extended the lens flare a little bit, and then I just put it at the end of it, and it worked. It looked a little bit coherent. I think the music was from the Division soundtrack, because we were really hyped about that game. Now you gotta remember, this was 2013. This was before that game even came out, and we were so hyped for the Division. Everything was Division at that point. And Luke came to me with this piece of music, and I said, oh yeah, absolutely, we'll use that, or something along those lines. So yeah, I wanted to continue running Begelius on the side, but Threefall became the sort of main project. I think we tackled the beginning of the channel really well. I don't think we used that intro straight away, and we did introductions for everyone. So we did one for each person.
Hello guys, I'm Tom, and this is Freefall Gaming.
Hi guys, it's Luke from Freefall Gaming, and I wanted to make this introduction video.
And obviously, I think I was the third one of those, and I think that's a good start. Like, get everyone used to the people that you're going to be meeting on this channel. And I remember looking really tired, so I guess nothing's changed. Hello everyone, my name is Alan, and I am one of the 3 members of Threefall Gaming. And I had like hair that sort of swooped down to here, and I was wearing my coat. I think I just got back from Blockbuster shutting down, and yeah, I just threw out that that introduction there, and so you got to meet everyone who was going to be on the channel. Then we put a few clips out, and then I think straight after that we rolled straight onto our games of the year, which nowadays seems like a really weird thing to do, to just like introduce a new YouTube channel and then be like, hey, here's game of the year, which is still to this day one of my favorite videos. I think in terms of what I enjoy watching more, I enjoy watching the blooper reel that I put on my Begelius channel more than that. There was some fucking funny bits, dude. There was a really funny bit in the Game Awards one where we decided that Luke would be in the background of One Shot, looking really creepy, looking through the window, and then we decided how funny it would be if he was just in another shot. Now, if you've seen that video, if you want to go back to that video, obviously I start the video, I introduce it, like what the concept is, this is going to be our game of the year thing, and I'm walking through the house and I get to the first shot and then it cuts into the second shot. Well, we were actually going to do that as one continuous shot and sort of cut it together, and I think we were a little bit too ambitious with that, but yeah, so we came through and it was going to be, Luke was going to be in the background and we were going to come around the corner, somehow make that look completely seamless, like match frame to frame, which we never would have been able to do. But I cocked up my line at that bit and we decided to just do it as 2 takes. Yeah, so we went around and Luke's like laying on the stairs, hilarious. The bloopers for that are still really funny. There's one bit where I just straight up look at Tom and call him Luke and just walk away. Yeah, so that was great, and then we moved on to like skits and sketches, and I had a really good time with those two. Obviously this is all stuff that I really wanted to do, I played Google, and what else did I do? A bunch of other stuff. I've always thought it was a very fun and easy to put together like concept, just to have like a webcam call with someone, and make that someone the computer in that situation. So that's really cool, and I had a good time with that. Yeah, and then we moved on to those like I was very inspired by Rooster Teeth at the time, and Luke was, I think, very inspired by, I think they called themselves Inside Xbox at the time, but now they call themselves Outside Xbox. I think at one point they were owned by Microsoft. Well, Andy Farron, and one of them was named Mike, and I can't remember the other one, but they were a good channel. They were a lot like Rooster Teeth, but they were more gaming focused, and they were a British group, and Luke was very into that. I don't know about Tom. Tom just sort of put stuff out, and I loved it when he did. I really loved it, like when Tom would drop something. There's something about Tom's delivery that I just find endlessly fucking hilarious, like outrageously funny. I really find his delivery funny, and the same goes for Luke. Actually, I think Luke has tremendous timing as well. Honestly, looking back at it, I think the only person I find borderline unbearable was me in a lot of those situations, but I do look back at those videos and I really like them. I think my favorite era of the channel was the 2014 era, where we just really found our groove, and when I look at it, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tremendously proud. Now, a lot of the videos are okay. Some of them are a little bit tasteless now. I don't think they've aged particularly well. There are some videos that I I think are quite funny, but I have said some things that I probably shouldn't have said, or done some voices that I certainly wouldn't do again. Now, I'm not going to get rid of those unless someone wants me to, and if someone wants me to, then I absolutely will, but I probably wouldn't do them now. And there is one video in there where I made a joke that honestly I'm sort of ashamed of making. I won't divulge what it was, but the video itself was funny, but I made a joke that I really shouldn't have made, and it wasn't even funny. Well, that's the thing. But when I look back at those videos, I am tremendously proud, because in those moments, you know, in that period, we consistently uploaded as a group lots of varying content, lots of different videos. We did film reviews, we did commentaries, we did let's plays, we did sketches, lists, top 10s, you know. We did a call to arms for collaborations. Luke streamed, you know, stuff like that, and I was it really felt like a very active space for the group, and it felt like a fun group that you were hanging out with, and ultimately that was the goal for me. That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be just like a group of guys just hanging out, and you get to watch that and you get to enjoy that, and hopefully you find it entertaining. That's, you know, some of the most entertaining stuff for me. So I hope that people really enjoy that. So that's what it feels like. You know, when I go back to that, I feel like we do feel like that group, and I will forever be tremendously proud of the fact that I was able to be part of that for as long as I was, even though it was for less than a year, honestly. I am phenomenally proud of what we did there, and there are some real bangers in there, and there's, you know, some not so great videos, but there's some really good stuff in there too. And of course, you know, it came to a close towards the end of 2014. Now, we didn't fall out. We didn't fall out, we didn't have creative differences, we didn't clash in any way, shape or form. What happened was everyone was just too busy, and you know, when we started the channel, I for reasons I won't get into in this video, I was taking A-levels when Luke and Tom were at university, and because I wasted 3 years on a different course, so I was going to college like 2 days a week, and I really wasn't doing anything outside of that, and I was unemployed. Tom and Luke were at uni, and I'm pretty sure Luke at least was employed, and I think Tom might have had a job too. They were just incredibly busy, and definitely didn't have time for making YouTube videos. I'm surprised they managed to make as much as they did for as long as they did, to be honest with you. But towards the end of the year, I mean, what happened to me in 2014 was, I think it was around about August time, I had to start working to get into college, because they stopped paying for me to do so. So I had to get a job to fund getting into college, which I did. So I was at college, and I had to start doing assignments because I was in second year and I had to take it seriously, and on top of that I was working. So I went from like going to college 2 days a week to working, going to college and doing assignments, and I had literally no free time, on top of Tom and Luke having no free time as well. It didn't work out. After a while, Luke and I began to sort of manage time a little bit better. In 2015 we brought it back. I think we really had a second wind with that and it was good again. I will say the spirit of it, I think I was, when I look back at it, like 2014 does have a bit more of like a spirit to it, but 2015 we did really well. We posted some of our most successful videos in 2015, but you know, it's, once again we got burned out, and I sort of had a bit of a, you know, buzz towards the end of the year in 2015, and it just didn't solidify. And then in 2020 Luke approached me again and said, do you want to give 3-4 another try? And I did, and I got really excited about the graphics for that. I made what I still think to this day is the best intro I've ever made, easily. I think that's easily the best intro that I've ever made. It looks absolutely gorgeous and the quality's fantastic. I was really playing around with I think I made it in Premiere, honestly, just using chroma keys. I took some green screen effects and some text, and it was copyright free music, unlicensed music. So this time we weren't allowed to use a Division sound effect because, you know, it was 2020. Things weren't as lax in 2020 as they were in 2013. We probably would have got all that shit taken down if we tried to use a Division sound effect in 2020. Soundtrack, sorry. So it was a beautiful intro, actually, and my editing got better, and I thought the videos were really good, actually. I think those videos are great too, but again, just as we were getting steam, I got a full-time job, and I started working full-time, and then we moved out, and it just wasn't going to happen again. And I don't think Tom actually was on board for that third iteration of 3-4. Now, my favorite iteration of the three, like I said, would have been the first. My favorite era was that 2014 era, and some of my favorite videos, honestly, were the ones that we put the most effort into, like Jeff's Alter Ego. I still go back to. I would love to reshoot that, because the quality was so poor, and I rented a huge camera for that, but like it went through, but the editing software I was using was so bad and it went through so much like processing, and I rendered until it looked like absolute crap. And then we used mirroring to have a shot of me and myself on a bed talking to one another, and we thought that would be really cool, but ultimately it just really made the quality even worse. Although I do think some of my acting was alright in that, but I think I could definitely do a way better job with that. The scripting was awful. The script for that short was absolutely terrible. You know what, that doesn't matter. That's beside the point, because you ruined everything and then left me with nothing. But I still look back on it fondly, and I still watch it again. Stolen Soldier, again, I think that's my issue. I'm just not a very good writer. My script for Stolen Soldier wasn't very good, but I thought that was the best performance I've ever given, and obviously I haven't done much acting since. This was in the height of my acting, and I think that was my best performance. And I do honestly think that there were some spots in that short, other than towards the end where I started sweating wearing a giant coat in a tiny box room with lighting that you literally can't touch without gloves on, or you'll literally burn your hand off. But I do think that yeah, some of the performance in that was pretty good. I'm still very proud of that. I'm very proud of how that worked out. But my favorite video from that era, or from 3-4 as a whole, from this entire channel, was one I honestly wouldn't make today. I wouldn't make this video today because I think I'd be a little bit too worried that it would be bordering on insensitive. But man, 3-4 Gaming with a GAY in the middle. It's so fucking funny. It's so funny, dude. So funny. I don't usually say this about my own videos. And yes, I did everything on that. I wrote it and I edited it and I conceptualized it and everything. But that video is so funny, dude. It is so hilarious, and it's really made by that last shot at the end. That look that Luke gives me in that last shot is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm saying that about my own production, but I don't care, because it's all in the expression, But it was just so perfect. The look he gave me there was so perfect. But also, having been there, it's even funnier because the look that Tom gives me of pure unbridled fear, we asked him to, I mean, it's in the bloopers, I think we said, just look at him seductively, and he looked at me like this. Just completely terrified of me. I don't know, that little, like, lick that Luke gives when I take the remote, he just goes like that in the very last second. If you look, you can catch that at the very last second. The song we used for that was Love Souvenir, and that's a song that Luke and I have been laughing about since I think around about 2010, 2011. So that the video, we always wanted to do something with that. We always wanted to make a video with that song. So I'm glad we finally got to. And to this day, it's one of the funniest things I think I've ever made, if not the funniest video I've ever made in my entire life. So that would be my favorite video on the channel. But alongside, I'm very proud of the Stolen Soldier, and I'm proud of that intro that I made, and I'm proud of everything we did on this channel. Where did we go now? Well, Tom, Luke and I, we are still very close friends. I still see them every other weekend. We see each other all the time. I go around there drinking, we go to cinema, we play video games, and we're still in pretty much constant contact with one another. We just don't, I mean, I have a family now, I have a house to maintain, a full-time job. I have my other YouTube channel that I do on the side for that sort of hit of creative fun, and I don't know if I have time for this channel, but is this going to be the last video? I'd like to say no. Honestly, I would like to say no, but if it is, then it is. And I'm glad we can finally sort of analyze the channel and how it was, because it was a lot of fun and something that I'm very happy with, and I'm very glad that I did. It was great, and I wanted, before I go, because obviously Tom and Luke don't know that I'm making this. They have no idea that I'm sat here doing this right now, and I haven't pitched this or even brought this up in any way. But I just want to say, if they do watch this, I want to thank Tom and Luke for the opportunity to make these videos and to have such a great time doing it, and thank you for making them with me. It was a lot of fun on here, and I really enjoyed 3 Full Gaming.